to chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Here in this space, every heart finds its meaning. Words weave a net where the world feels much kinder. Chat is the pulse, every moment redeeming, binding reminder. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Quiet nights and the storms full of thunder. Chat holds the light, every word a new tether. Strength in the love that connects us, no sunder, lifting together. Hats off to Chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. Hats off to Chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. To Chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its.
Hi, how are you guys? Lupita, 2 inches of water? Oh my goodness gracious, that must have been awful. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I sat down. I was running late for the live, and I sat down and I forgot to put up the green screen. So let me get that up for a second. Lupita, I hope there's not too much damage. I hope the water is easy enough to clean up. We had a friend once who was on vacation, and our kids were taking care of their pets. Hey, Cricket. And we got a call one morning from our son, and a pipe had burst. We could not hear him over the water running. There was water everywhere. It had been going for hours. It was a disaster. A disaster. The water was so loud. We couldn't hear him over the water running. So it could be worse, Lupita. Fans on, it didn't go up where, yeah, good. Lupita, you get first in. Check out what Cricket did for the first in award. Check it out. Cricket is on a roll with these Rousseau-like paintings, and this is so special. Look at the leaves. I love it. How did you make it do that, Cricket? That's amazing. You have help cleaning and it didn't go up to the wall. It didn't go up the wall. Good. So the sheetrock is not damaged. Excellent. Excellent. I am very relieved that the water wasn't so bad. Lupita, make sure and send Cricket an email so we can send you this lovely, lovely first in award. You guys wait till you see the last in. They're so cool. I don't know how you made it do the leaves, Cricket. It is very nice, isn't it, Lupita? It doesn't object on ChatGPT? Really? That's amazing. Sorry, there are people walking around the house, and because we've brought home child number 3, we have more people in the class. People in the house, not people in the class. I am thinking about getting registered for classes next quarter now that we are all done with this quarter. Yesterday was the last day of the quarter. I got everything done. My grades will go in. I don't have to worry about what my grade is for this course this quarter. It'll do buds too. Wow, Cricket. I didn't notice until I was showing it to Lupita that you'd been able to do cannabis leaves. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. So, is there anything that you guys would like to talk about? Give me a subject we can chat about. I probably should have brought one myself. This next quarter, I'll be taking research, and it is going to be a pain in the ass because I have to be in class in person at 9 a.m. 2 days a week. So, but this will be the last class, y'all. Then I'm done. I think I put off taking it because it was at 9 a.m. And again, I was really lucky they let me adjust these classes because this class I just took and the class I'm taking this next quarter that those two classes were normally only offered in spring quarter. So I would have had to take two classes at a time. So now I didn't have to take two classes at a time. It's 25 minutes. I mean, I'll have to leave at 8. I will have to leave at 8 to get there by 9, 8:15 at the latest. Cuz I got to get downtown. I'll have to unload my wheelchair because my lift isn't working. And we don't even have it scheduled to get it fixed yet in case we're finding in not in case in we have to get the lift fixed, but we've found out that it's possible that my lift isn't even repairable. So that is a terrifying thing because if my lift isn't repairable, then I'm going to have to always be taking the wheelchair in and out of the car in pieces. Part of the reason we bought the vehicle was because it had the lift in it. Replacing the lift is not necessarily in the budget right now. So let's hope that the lift is still repairable. No, they're not covered by insurance, Cricket. It's I mean, we probably could have gotten it covered by insurance, but it's a modification to the vehicle. So having it covered by insurance would be like more money. We've had it fixed before. And apparently they quit providing parts after a certain lifetime. So I don't know what we're going to do if it's not repairable. I have an idea, and the idea is that we're going to take it out of the car, and I'm going to have to, hey, Justin, how are you? I'm going to take it out of we're going to take the lift out of the vehicle, and I will have to lift the wheelchair in and out all the time, which is not high on my list of things that I want to have to do because it's Justin, no. And if you keep asking Justin, I will time you out. I don't have patience for that today. So we're not going to do a panel. It's not going to be a thing. Please don't ask again. If you keep asking, Cricket will time you out. Okay? I love having you here. You're very welcome to be here. But don't keep asking me about coming up on panel, honey. Luckily, I can the wheelchair comes apart into 3 parts, and it's fairly easy to disassemble it and reassemble it. And none of the parts are too heavy. It's just much nicer to use the lift. It's much nicer to use the lift. Okay, Lupita. Okay, Justin, we don't wanna time you out either, honey. We don't. Lupita, I understand why you might need to step away for a few after what you discovered this morning. It is nice to have you here for the little bit of time we do. Thank you, Lupita. I don't wanna time you out either, Justin. So let's just talk about what would you like to talk about, Justin? What would you talk about on panel if you could come up here? We can talk about it anyhow. Do you do lives, Justin, on your channel? It didn't tell me you were here. I sat on your pic. I'm going back to see what's up. Okay. You'll catch up. Your house is old. The basement flooded a lot at first. Flooded basements are not fun. I'm sorry it didn't tell you I was here, brain fog. How did you make it stop flooding, Cricket? We had a basement when I was a little girl. And hey, Kristen. Nice morning stretch. That sounds actually not that attractive, but it does feel good. Ooh, that one is nice. How are you doing, Kristen? I've got an interview coming up this week, and they're supposed to get back to me. You got a sump pump and did some amateur masonry. Very cool, Cricket. Masonry is cool. I always love watching guys build brick walls. I think it's the coolest thing. You're good cleaning up for baby bro to come over? Nice. Have you tried the coucherie on baby bro, Kristen? What does he think of the coucherie? I think it's so cool that dad likes it. Cricket, brain fog. Oh, brain fog's going to see it, but Cricket, I'm going to show it off. Check out the first, Lupita won it, but check out the first in award that Cricket made. Isn't that cool? Cricket made it with leaves for bacon baking hour. Hey, Ryan. Here he is, y'all. Anybody want to see an Orion? He left before it was ready last week. Well, you'll have to make it for him or feed him some leftovers. Oh. No. We had a lot of Masons in my family too, Cricket. One of my earliest Canadian ancestors worked on the first windmill in Quebec as a stonemason. That is so cool. What jobs am I applying for? I am applying for jobs. I applied for a job as a peer counselor. I got an interview for it, but it doesn't pay any different than the current job I have. It would be basically the same job, and I don't like this job. This job I have is working with developmentally disabled adults and helping them, working as a peer counselor for developmentally disabled adults. And the new job, the new job as a peer counselor would be working with people with mental health issues. So it's the same job, different population. Pays about the same. Both are part-time. And the other job is a coordinator for a nonprofit, a volunteer coordinator for a nonprofit. And yes, Cricket, same as your job. I mean, I would be fine at it. I would be good at it. It does not get me out into the community with people. I need to get out to the community meeting people. And that need for me in a job, it keeps me too insular to myself because I'm never, hold on, fix my chair with Orion here in my lap. I'm only ever with clients. I'm never with the same group of, I'm always with the same individual clients. I'm never meeting people. No bacon for you, Antics? Why no bacon? We're baking the bacon. Don't you want baked bacon? You've got to see Antics. I know I'm showing it off like nothing, Cricket. Showing it off like it's everything, because it is. Not like nothing. See, the baking is already taking effect, you guys. Antics, look at this first in award that Cricket made for baking hour. Cannabis infused maple bacon. I think that should be a thing. Cannabis infused maple bacon. So I think the volunteer coordinator job will have me meeting more new people, interacting with more people, more with groups of people. Yes, I'll give your bacon to Cricket antics. Absolutely. Kristen, my cousin is similar to what you like. Her favorite place has been working in like a big apartment complex for Catholic Charities, being a case manager for those residents and supervisor. Yeah, that would be a better match for me, but even a better match is working out in the community to bring awareness um to the community. Could see you loving all that and all of the residents and lots of people, and to be supervisory stuff too over other case managers. Yeah, Kristen. I need the interaction and the people and the coordination. Yes, I've looked at Catholic Charities and Volunteers of America, and Lutheran Services is also a good one. I think they're all good. They do a lot of good work. They do a lot of good work. And so I'm looking for those kinds of jobs. I'm looking for English teaching jobs, but I'm looking for specific English teaching jobs. I don't particularly want to teach children. A lot of the homeless coalition type stuff that has you working with the homeless, has you working outside on the regular. Here, that kind of stuff does. So it would have to, like, volunteer coordinator kind of stuff might work for that. English teaching, so teaching English to adults. And Lutheran Services has English and citizenship classes that they offer out to the community. Hi, Sophia. You're in the community with your clients most of the time, but a couple don't want to go out, so we visit at their home. I agree. I'm out in the community, Cricket, but I'm not like I'm not meeting other people out in the community. It's focused on the client. See you at university doing some classes for some community college. Yeah, I could do that too. I could teach English at a community college. Paulo, hola, ¿cómo está? I mean, I'm only ever with my client and focused on my client. There's no peer-to-peer engagement. There's no making friends at work. There's no creating a network. I mean, yes, I should be doing that, but I'm doing it with my client. I don't meet other peers of me. Or when I do, it's only in passing because our clients are attending the same event. So there isn't much socializing aspect of work, which is something that's valuable to me. Yeah, okay, Cricket. Got it. Yeah, that's the hard part of it for me. I feel really alone. It's very solitary. Oh, I'm so glad you're well, Paolo. I'm so glad you're well, and thank you for the beautiful compliment. You're always so kind. Cubs and Manning are doing a live later together. That's great. You're the same in your position too. Yeah, it's hard. It's really lonely. It's a lonely job. I feel very isolated in that job. And that is I mean, it's functional. And to be fair, I have more autonomy in this job that I've ever had in any other job. That said, that autonomy comes with a price. Part of the reason I have the autonomy is because I'm not really reporting to anybody else. You know, if my client and I decide to change our hours from Tuesday to Friday because I'm sick on Tuesday and they don't have to work on Friday, then I can totally do that. I can totally do that. So there's a lot of autonomy, but it comes at the price of not really having a community at work. Autonomy is really nice, Antics. There's some sort of peer work or collective organization in our region. I don't know, Cricket. That's a good question. I was just wondering that myself. I mean, nannies create nanny collectives for just this reason, right? Where they have get-togethers for the nannies. Volunteer for something social outside of it if there's time. Yes, I could. The volunteer work that I've been doing is teaching English, and that in itself, tutoring English online is also solitary. So even if I was to find a job teaching English online or off, that doesn't necessarily mean that that job is going to come with a community that I meet. You have a couple in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Have you participated with that, Cricket? Has it made a difference for you? That sounds really interesting. Being able to let people be free to just get in with it is very liberating for everyone. I agree, Antics. I agree. This job I'm in the running for that I'm interested in would be starting coordination from scratch. So the idea of creating that program is really exciting. Want more from my group 100%, but I'm not sure I can get her to my org. I try to get her to one of our orientations. Kristen, are you talking you talking about me? You trying to recruit me? You used to participate a lot. Was it helpful, Cricket? You've sacrificed some goats for me to get the job I want? Brain fog, that is so funny. I finally watched the last episode of Severance last night, the season finale. Antics, have you seen it? You know why I think brain fog sacrificing goats is so funny? There's very important scene, brain fog, in the Severance season finale related to goats. Would you like down? Hold on, guys. I don't know, Kristen. I have some deep concerns, deep not disagreements, non-agreements I am not a bad organizer, Kristen. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment. At least I think I have some disagreements. I may not. I mean, we can keep talking about it. I'm always open to chatting. Fab Daddy, man, you're here. Let's bake some bacon, y'all. Let's bake some bacon. Is MLH still live, Fab Daddy? I'm surprised you're here. I figured you'd be over there. That cold is still plus the marijuana. Fab Daddy, you've got to see the amazing. I'm going to show this off to everybody, Cricket. The amazing First In award that Cricket made. Check out the leaves, Fab Daddy. You don't know if MLH is still live? Cricket says it was great for networking and making friends. He did fundraising boards, committees. Some have social stuff and such. I will look into that, Cricket. Let me make a note here. Let me make a note. Okay. Nice medicine, isn't it, Fab Daddy? Isn't it? I thought it was lovely. I thought it was lovely. Brain fog, that's not a bad idea. I thought I was doing good by having the entire first season to watch. But then, you know, I caught up to the second season. And the second season, excuse me, I need to get a lozenge. I've told you guys this before. Between my medicine, my medication, my actual like doctor prescribed medication, the medicine gives me a dry mouth. Just starting out as a baseline, the medication gives me a dry mouth. And then when I add this on top of it, well, let's just say my mouth becomes like the Sahara. Sophia, you're looking at buying a house? Excellent. And volunteer fire department, that's an excellent place to volunteer. You would love that. Volunteer firefighters are so community oriented. Firefighters are the best. Firefighters are the best. The dry mouth seems to have gone away. Well, hallelujah, Kristen. Thanks be. The Weathers get some. Oh, that's right, brain fog. I forgot all about that. Mandy, honey, how are you? Volunteer firefighters are a huge part of the infrastructure here in the US too, I think. It's really good to see you, Mandy. How are you doing? Volunteer firefighters are really important. And they do amazing things. They go through all this training and they do it all for free. Still shitty. Mandy had COVID recently, y'all. Do you think it's long COVID or are you still recovering, Mandy? I really hope it isn't long COVID. Yeah, volunteerism is a big deal. Long COVID, lovely. I am really sorry, Mandy, honey. How long it's messing with your ears? How does it mess with your ears? How long was the long COVID last time, Mandy? I I have been very lucky. For some reason, I have not yet had COVID. Really, Fab Daddy? That is so cool, Fab Daddy. Hell yes to your mom. Wow. Long COVID is an actual thing, Kristen. It's always been a thing. That is really cool, Fab Daddy. Last time it was like a year. Oh my God, Mandy. Making your ears full of pressure with zero relief. Ugh. Does the medication work at all? Moms do rock, Fab Daddy. Yours in particular. Wow. So impressive. You've gotten a lot out of volunteering. Once when I applied, they said they would have to pay me, which I thought was confounding. I've gotten a lot out of volunteering too. I need to look more into what kind of opportunities there are locally where I could volunteer and have it be fulfilling. What, Kristen? Lots of people get long COVID. They continue to have symptoms. Yeah. My husband and child number 4 had it. They were in the house with me for the entire time. Brain fog, I didn't quite realize you had long COVID. Long COVID sucks. The symptoms go on and nobody quite knows why. I'm not sure what the research has found. I haven't followed. Not that we have any research going on at all anymore. Although I did hear that, was it Congress that passed that bill for the avian flu? Oh, there's an administrative edict that came down for significant funding for research for avian flu. I think it's worse for people with autoimmune too, Mandy. I I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's borne out by the science at all. No, it's not contagious the whole time. That's the thing. There's no more COVID. It's not contagious. There's just continued symptoms. The symptoms don't stop. It messes with your body and the signals, and something happens. You think it's completely gone, and then you wake up and you know you still had it. Shit, brain fog. You had short COVID, you were hoping the vaccine would give you superpowers. Wow, it was weird lining up for those vaccines, y'all. Was the weirdest thing, sitting in line with all of those workers, sitting in cars, waiting in cars for an injection. It's like a movie. It's like a what's the word for the apocalyptic movie? It's like living in an apocalyptic movie. Weird as shit. Very strange world. You don't know how I avoided it. You did your regular job the entire time, no break. Wow, Cricket. That must have been wild. It would probably have killed me if I didn't get the vax. I'm glad there was a vaccine, Mandy. It killed my aunt. COVID did. Before there was even a vaccine, she lived in Nebraska in a nursing facility. She died in April, very early, very early. Yeah, it was really hard. It was really, really hard. We decided to drive um, the hospital, for some reason, I don't know why, said that I could come and visit her before they pulled the plug. And so we drove straight through to Nebraska. And I got to see her, and I was there with her when they turned the machines off. You got it bad? Oh my goodness, Antics. 5 times? The first was really bad. I'm so sorry, Antics. You smoke cigs and eat ice cream as a meal, so you're not exactly a health nut. Cricket, we got to get you off those cigs and onto vapes. The love of your life died from COVID. I am so sorry, Antics. You should have been in the hospital the first time, Antics. It's terrifying. RIP to those loved ones in a moment of silence. Thank you, Mandy. I actually don't get sick very often, and I'm really sorry about your love, Antics. Hugs for Antics, y'all. Let's put some hugs in the chat for Antics. The nursing homes did get it bad. And of course, the nursing homes in the states that didn't think that it was a thing that they needed to worry about got it worse. It ravaged the nursing homes, and my aunt was one of the very, very first. I'm so sorry, Antics. That's okay, Antics. He can still be the love of your life. Imagine if we made quilts for loss from COVID like we did for people with AIDS. Wow, Mandy. I wonder why we didn't do that. It was just too much. Oh, Antics. I understand why you left, and that was probably very wise to leave, but that doesn't change loving somebody, does it? Knowing that it can't work. Hey, Brian, how are you, sweetie? You're walking into an emotional landmine. I hope you're okay with that. I do remember the quilts made for people that died from AIDS. They were out on the National Mall. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. I can't see anything like this. We're so far from anything like that. Like, even for AIDS victims, there was that compassionate outpouring in a time when the country was divided about AIDS, but there was that kind of a compassionate outpouring. And why didn't we get that with COVID? We had it at the beginning. You were feeling guilty until you got it in November. Feeling guilty until you got it in November of 23. It was the feeling of being helpless that got to me. Yes. My neighborhood was gifted an AIDS quilt. Your neighbor was gifted an AIDS quilt. Wow, Antics. I mean, that's wonderful, but it's sad that they had one. There's a loss of empathy in the country, Mandy. I'm not sure if it's so much a loss of empathy as it is empathy exhaustion. I think that people are so overwhelmed with the demands of life. But maybe that's not everybody. Maybe there is a loss of empathy. Maybe I'm just looking in one community and seeing empathy exhaustion. But that doesn't seem to be the case in other communities. You think both, Mandy? Okay. COVID does not discriminate. No, it does not, poet. COVID does not discriminate. It picks and chooses as it will. I'm a little worried about measles, actually. A little worried about measles. Brain fog, you're very sweet. I'm usually wrong. I just backpedal and reconsider and then come to a more moderated position. My first instinct is usually to my first instinct is usually wrong. I have learned. But I am learning to step back from my first instinct and reconsider. That has been a most important learning. Good, Brian. Good that you got your booster. I do think about things and are not a stick in the mud about things. I hate being a stick in the mud. And I think things need to be thought about, at least given a moment. I try, don't always succeed. Vitamin C is a good thing. Yes, I believe so, Cricket. Measles can cause hearing impairment or blindness to babies if moms get it, or is that something else? Um, Adam might be better able to answer that. I'm not certain at the moment, Cricket. Adam, that is almost inspirational coming from you, honey. You really think so, huh? I It is scary right now to continue to hope in the American people. Antics it might have been, and you never know until you do it, and then you have your answer. It's unfortunate that it wasn't a wake-up call for him. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. You're fairly optimistic? Okay, give me some reasons for optimistic. Give me something. Give me something. Yeah, Mandy says that it can cause blindness and deafness because of inflammation. So can COVID. Really? I didn't know that, Mandy. I didn't know that. Exactly, Mandy. Exactly. You do what you can. You do what you can. And that is about all you could do. Our political system is weak. It was always going to be tested. Based on too many norms, Adam? Yeah, Adam, I get that, and I want to be inspired by that, but Kamala had plenty of people at her rallies. You're welcome, Antics. We love you. AOC and Bernie are coming to Seattle. They're probably not coming to Portland, are they, Mandy? When are they coming to Seattle, Mandy? I don't even know what to check. Let's see. Here we've got Las Vegas, Tempe, Tucson. I can't find the schedule. Antics or Mandy? Oh, you hope they do. It's not in their tour yet. Got it. You should stream if you go, Mandy. You're I can understand. I have ideas that I could have done this or I could have done that about different situations. Okay, Adam. Just a moment. My pencil is dull. Antics, I can understand feeling that way, but you were young. It's a lot to ask. You made the decision you made. I have regrets, and then I look at what I wouldn't have if that decision hadn't come about, right? Would I be willing to give up all that I gained from that decision for making a different decision? That's how I think about an Antics. Okay, Adam, I'll go watch the very last scene of All the President's Men. Where'd you go, Fab Daddy? Welcome back. If I go to Bernie's site, it has the info on there. I don't see a place with the schedule, Mandy. Only through the 22nd do they have up on the thing. I mean, I can give them my email address. I can't find anything that gives me dates, Mandy. Antics, my ex stayed. It only got worse. No second guessing your compassion. Just thought you might want to know. Oh, Cricket, honey. Oh, Cricket, sweetheart. I'm sorry for your loss. Exactly, Antics. Leaving him brought you to your squirrels today and you wouldn't trade them for anything. Right. That's the thing. Click on join the oligarchy tour. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, Mandy. You've scored an entire plant of medicine? We will not call ice cream, Fab Daddy. Of course not. Antics and Cricket, you're both amazing. Thanks, Mandy. Thanks, Mandy. You guys are sweet. I certainly hope so, Adam. Please. Oh, if there is a God in heaven, there are some things that we can hope. Inshallah. I trying to move on Canada is like I can't imagine there is a majority of Americans that support that. You mean it well, it's like a game of Jenga. It's like a game of Jenga. At some point the tower collapses. It feels like a game of Jenga. Oh, inshallah is a wonderful term and so imbued with a variety of meanings. 12 years is a long time, Adam. Well, Fab Daddy, they might be saying that. I mean, why freaking Canada? I cannot figure out for the life of me. Why this obsession with Canada? Hey, Sophia, you came back at exactly the right time. I mean, it's always the right time when you show up. We love having you here. Thank you, Cricket. I do see that they're getting good crowds. It felt like Kamala was getting good crowds, and that was not enough. and we need numbers. Hubby pipes up that they're getting good crowds in Republican districts, Adam. So, interesting, Adam. Okay, that point I'll take. We are rapidly approaching Trumpism's 12th year. And fascism lasts an average of 12 years. Interesting. I mean, it's fun messing with Canada when we know we're friends and they're the little brother, but this is going a little far, I think, Fab Daddy. This is beyond teasing. I mean, we're calling Canadians nasty and shit, for fuck's sake. So I agree, it's fun messing with Canada. Oh, Cricket, really? Why is that, Cricket? Sophia, I truly believe that the entire thing is kayfabe. The entire thing is based on WWE and reality television and his portrayal in The Apprentice being of an incredibly successful, and how that storytelling portrayed him as an incredibly successful businessman. It is all Emperor's New Clothes. It is all the Emperor's New Clothes via media. That is everything. Kamala's crowds were centered on an anemic message. This is different. Okay, Adam. Exactly, Brian. Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. He doesn't have a constituency, he has an audience. The question is, when the audience turns, which way will they turn and to whom? Sophia, I remember early on feeling the danger of this man being president when he declared his candidacy. And he was getting so much, I mean, he was getting all of the free press, and everybody was talking about it. And I kept telling people to shut up. Quit acting like this man is even remotely important, because people were just, he created so much buzz around that candidacy and got so much free press. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. They don't have an ideological core. They will melt into something noxious but amorphous. But they will continue to be centers of possible infection, Adam. How do we vaccinate against that? and quickly. I still wonder if Bernie got the nomination, how different the US would be today. Well, I wonder if Carter had won his second term, how different the US would be today. So I hear you, Fab Daddy. They voted for him directly. It's not even like with Mustache Dude, who wasn't even voted in direct. I know, Sophia. Yes, I saw him coming too, Brian. He was reality show Reagan, indeed. That is, and he got so much free press. He got so much free press. Yes, not Mark Brett, Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett. He won the young guys because of Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and Andrew Tate. Yes, but where the fuck did those people come from? More reality show kayfabe bullshit born out of oh, now his name escapes me. Adam, you know who I'm talking about. The original radio show podcaster dude, conservative, who had a show and was on forever, and he died recently. The next guy will use the momentum if you don't start educating people to vote for their own interests. Exactly, Sophia. If it melts into this amorphousness that works, but we have to, we can't, this is like long COVID in reality. We have to figure out a way to vaccinate against this and to change that amorphousness into a direction. Joe Rogan came from Fear Factor. Limbaugh, exactly, Kristen. Thank you. Rush Limbaugh. Obama, you think that if he didn't make fun of him that one time? Yeah, I wonder that too, brain fog. I do. In 1933, it was Mustache Man. By the end of the 40s, it was Adenauer. Now, who's Adenauer, Adam? I don't know who that is. Or at least the name's not ringing a bell right now. Never let them trick you into thinking they're natural or inevitable. Exactly. Blaze Guy, O'Reilly. Oh, yes. Rogan continues to encourage the eating of worms. Germany turned it around through education and awareness. How did they turn it around? That I need to look into, Sophia. I need to make a note of that. You're right. Germany turned it around through education and awareness. And my husband added, they also outlawed fascism or Nazism, Sophia? Adenauer was Germany's first chancellor after the National Socialist era. Oh, okay, Sophia. Thank you. Obama did help create the material conditions for Trump. Yes, it's never the revolution you have to worry about, it's the counter-revolutionaries. The counter-revolutionaries are terrifying. Stalin and Russia turned them around. Educate me more on that offline, okay, Kristen? Sophia, because the U.S. got us quality education with a focus on social science. Oh, the U.S. So, Sophia, this is one of my theories, is that our lack of focus on social science and our hyper focus on engineering has hamstrung us and has in many ways brought this about. I believe. I believe. Sometimes you think people like being ignorant. I tend to agree, Brian. It's more comfortable being ignorant. We are allergic to info and awareness. They win when the masses are less educated. Yes, Mandy. Ignorance is bliss, Fab Daddy. MERS is CDU. It's almost like history is demanding a new Adenauer. Interesting. I said the counter-revolutionaries, Kristen. It's never the revolution you need to worry about. It's the counter-revolutionary. I do know what it feels like with I'm overloaded and don't want to hear it anymore. With all muscle pull, I am selfish because I have to be immobile and just exist on YouTube. Yes. Hey, J-Bat. Oh, get some sleep, sweetie. I'm sorry you have to work tonight. I'm glad to see you. Guys, we missed the first Minnesota goodbye. Just chatting away. Interesting, Adam. Well, it'll be interesting to see how quickly European countries start pulling talent from America. And the peanut gallery adds that we're kicking the talent out of the US, which is also true. They just put the responsibility for democracy in everyone's lap and genuinely showed how common good aligns with personal interest of the people. Google Wehrhaft Democracy. Okay, Sophia, thank you. Wehrhaft. There's got to be some research on this. American political science research, local. There's got to be, even if it's not American, on how to educate people using the same methodologies. If they worked once, one would think they would work twice. Although I watched a really interesting video and now I can't find it, talking about how this is a different type of damn, what's the word for marketing of publicizing things, but bending them to a message to indoctrinate people. Give me that word, y'all. Let's admit that Bernie Sanders is peak counter-revolutionary in this period. I'm not. I'm not so worried about these counter-revolutionaries. I mean, these aren't necessarily revolutionaries. These are just people objecting. Propaganda, yes, propaganda. Now I forgot what I was going to say about propaganda. Yeah. Oh, the propaganda that people are being bombarded with now creates an insular loop that it is hard to get people out of. There's a premiere on Brian's channel in half an hour. You guys, we will head over there when we finish here. It's half an hour away. And the first track is Sophia's current favorite. So we'll all have to pop over there and hear the first track, Brian, in a half an hour. Oh, I mean, yes, indoctrination is just another word for culturation. I mean the propaganda, probably, and the subliminal messaging, Sophia. The budget cuts will likely cut through the information bubble. People are going to hurt. It is going to hurt people. It is going to hurt people bad. We shall see. People are really seeming, I mean, on the other hand, it's been pointed out, these are red districts that are showing up. More robust liminal messaging, yes. I'd settle for decent messaging. Uh-huh. Let's get a there's a story here to be told, y'all. We need to start telling the story. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. We still got to find a way. I think Adam's right. I think people, it will melt into it will melt into an amorphous blob that is out there Kristen, I don't know how we do global UBI. I don't know how we do that right now. I would be happy to start with universal basic income. I would be happy to start with universal basic income. I don't know how we do global. I think that global takes more that there's so much division in the world. I don't know how we get to global universal basic income, but I'm not adverse to it. Once you start taking food out of kids' mouths, then the pitchforks will start coming out and be sharpened. I hope so. Yes, Sophia, I'm sure you should come and not leave. Kristen, I don't disagree. I just saying we got to start with something that we might be able to accomplish. We can have a goal. I just can't see how we reach that goal at all right now. The German comedian Johnny Buchart. You guys teach me so much. Johnny showed how reactionary tendencies don't go away, but they can be rendered dormant. Well, that's true. The reactionary tendencies can be rendered dormant. I will go watch him, Adam. That sounds very, very interesting. UBI for us means not UBI for any others under capitalism, I'm pretty sure, and the rest of the world seems so much divided except against us a bit. Think globally, work locally. Yes. I agree, Kristen. I think universal income can only come from universal labor. Fab Daddy, I don't disagree. I just think we need to reconsider what labor means. As somebody who has spent my entire adult life raising children as a mother to be contributing members of the community, spent countless hours volunteering in the community for the betterment of other children in the community to make them contributing members of the community. I really fucking want people to reconsider what is considered labor, because the fact that there is no consideration that I have contributed in a meaningful way, that I don't qualify for disability benefits, that I have no earned income social security is fucking bullshit. So I will agree universal income can only come from universal labor. I would just say we need to consider what labor is. You can't get a true believer out. You can only get the people in the middle ground to stay engaged enough to drown out those voices. That's what I thought we had, Sophia, for a long time. All of a sudden the voices got loud. Extra 3 German satire. Labor means putting hands to earth. I don't know, Kristen. If it's only from labor, then no more capital income, no more income from interest. Thank you, Cricket. Boy, guys, we're getting deep in the weeds here on this. Lawyers and doctors isn't labor, but there are agreements made between those groups. I mean, we need lawyers and doctors. I disagree. Not everybody can put hands to earth in a complex society. I disagree. I agree, Fab Daddy. You are a contributing member of this community. I agree. You are an income generating machine. And somehow there is, I mean, let's see, I will get maybe if I'm lucky. Exactly, Adam. Labor isn't just farming. There are other needs in the community. There's child rearing. I mean, there is lots of other ways. And what we need to do is make all forms of labor valid, just like fucking all forms of protest are valid. Being a doctor is work. It is a vocation. Being a lawyer is important. Even the bad guys get a defense. Intellectual labor is labor too. Yes. We're not Luddites here. We can't going back, like, we are moving forward. We have to adapt to the era that we're in. And yes, almost third Minnesota goodbye. You guys, I totally missed the second one. Thank you, Kristen. Every job has its place, and frustration over not being appreciated enough shouldn't turn into anger towards others. Let's band together instead. Right. It can be exhausting writing. Writing is exhausting, Brian. There is a foundation that needs to be acknowledged and protected, and we see what can happen to us when that foundation. Absolutely. Everyone has a valid place, and we need to understand that. I would agree with that. I would be in favor of full automation if we could make it economically inclusive. Yeah, I don't think physical labor is necessarily required. If I mean, I think the Star Trek universe is one possible universe. It is one possible future that we have been shown a representation of. You can have compassionate and caring education. You can have all of these things. Full automation. I don't know what group is saying that, Kristen. I just think we're clarifying. I just think we're clarifying what we think. I we didn't think you were saying that, Kristen, honey. Don't worry. I understand what you're saying. The labor, the value needs to be the value, the trade of value needs to be there. Who needs space if you have a holodeck and a replicator? Yeah, there you go, Adam. Holodecks, I mean, we're getting so close. I still have not had a chance to try one of those virtual reality things. I think it would be so cool. I really want I really want one. Maybe I'll get myself one of those for graduation. Maybe that's an appropriate graduation gift. I've been trying to think what I could get myself. One of those handy dandy. The problem in America is people are socialized to be on one team against other teams and to primarily look out for themselves and to think someone's taking for them. It's to screw them, yes. Yeah, Kristen, I'm sorry. We weren't trying to argue at all, hun. I think at least I wasn't. That wasn't how I was taking it. Meta yes, Fab Daddy. I like going meta. I like going at a automated kettle, not Pol Pot. Yeah. We will get there, y'all. Maybe it is right to be optimistic. Change certainly needs to happen. There's a great book on the lawsuitification of America, Kristen. At least I think it's a really good book. It explains how in America, personal injury law became about removing risk. So in the United Kingdom, for example, if a child is injured by a product, there is less likely to be a lawsuit against the company that developed the product. There is more trust, and the courts are less likely to provide a personal injury settlement unless there's clear evidence of negligence. At least this is how I recall the book. Whereas in the United Kingdom, there is an assumption of some risk on the part of the participant. Yeah, that's a word I made up to describe what I'm trying to say, but I think you understand. You think life has become too easy for humans? I don't know, it depends on what you define as easy. I think there are things that people, elder millennial and older, find easy that people younger millennial and younger find difficult. So, I think the that that what has become easy and hard are very different. Britain almost had a coup in the 70s. I don't think any it's one on top of many problems. There are many problems America's facing right now. I don't think any one factor um I don't think any one factor y'all crack me up. I don't think any one factor made this happen. I think it's a combination. It's a combination of factors. Um, I think you can name a handful. There's a handful, maybe 2 handfuls. There's a dozen, at least a dozen. The Supreme Court ruling on uh, speech as money or money as speech uh, is another one. The name isn't coming to mind right now. Her number is 9. Yeah, the Citizens United ruling. Number 9. 42. Yes, Cricket. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Third Minnesota goodbye, y'all. I wonder if we'll get a third Minnesota hello. You guys will not believe how beautiful this next one is. Yes, Brian. They got pissed at LBJ. LBJ. Mm-hmm. Yep. You are not at all wrong, Brian. But then if you go back that far, then we go back to Reconstruction. If we're going back that far, then we have to go back to Reconstruction. Having grown up in post-group therapy Germany, you do notice the difference between the attitude of let's not react to the screamers and people that do react out of fear of potential loss of comfort. Interesting, Sophia. Tell me more. Cobilf, are we Papa Cat? Lee Atwater explained it all in a secret recording. Is that secret recording available, Adam? I don't know, Papa Cat. I might. You go back to the Magna Carta. What Adam, I think, is saying is there is this pattern in government. This shit happens. This shit happens. We got to start coming up with how it gets fixed. We got to come, because if we have the opportunity to fix this, through elections, and we actually do receive a mandate to fix this in the elections, then we have to be prepared with an agenda, not only to repair damage, but to inoculate damage. Type in Lee Atwater Southern Strategy. Okay. Reagan got elected, they quit enforcing the fairness and reporting doctrine, which led to the rise of Fox News and infotainment. Yes, I said that earlier, Brian, that what would have happened had Carter won rather than Reagan. Yeah, we've got to Magna Carta is your cousin. Cricket, you're related to everybody. How about the Mayflower? The Mayflower Compact. We do have the screamers too, but they're pretty relentlessly made fun of through satire. And most people love the commonly reached comfort too much to fully agree with the extreme ideas. But aren't the extremists getting some power, Sophia? And if Ted Kennedy hadn't sabotaged Carter, he might have won. Yes. Closest thing we have to a saint on this planet. Reagan pulled off the fucking solar panels. Like, they were already fucking there, man. Why would you need to even trash them? That was truly the beginning of the end. And the Democrats did not do enough to stop it. In fact, they encouraged it in many ways, in my opinion. Sophia, I know that the Germans have a very cutting wit. I'm not the Americans that has been blunted. Mainly in the economically weaker areas that feel left behind. Yes. Well, that is Nixon would still be in office today. Carter supported the Shah. You're not ready for sainthood. Okay, Adam, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Valid, valid point. Although I'm not sure that the Shah wasn't better than what followed. So if, you know, maybe we shouldn't have been involved putting the Shah into office to begin with. If I recall, that is the problem. Well, that is a fear, isn't it, Fab Daddy? That is the fear. I would prefer not we go the dystopian route. That is my preference. Eastern Germany is fairly right wing in part because the East German government taught that they were not responsible for national. Well, like I've said before, education, we've got to have inoculation. That's what we've not had. We've not had education. And I truly, I'll say it again, I think our focus on engineering over social sciences has made things worse. Late 70s were a scary time. I remember the fear quite clearly. I don't remember that fear, Brian. They're fairly popular in Eastern Germany, where they had the illusion of doing well through socialism, and that disappeared after the fall of the wall. So they're mad about the loss of stability. That sounds strikingly familiar to what's going on in Russia, Sophia. Strikingly familiar to what's going on in Russia. A friend had pictures of her mom in Iran in the 70s in Western clothes. Now she's afraid her mom might get deported. Oh my God, brain fog. Oh my goodness. I have to say, I totally separate the government of Iran from the people of Iran because Iranians, Persians are the nicest, kindest people. Um, I totally separate most people from their government, though. I am hoping that most of the world right now is separating Americans from the government. I never showed the third goodbye award, y'all. Let me pull it up here. I got distracted. Papa Cat, I think I might fight you for this one. Look at that. People are good, governments are bad. Yes, Fab Daddy. That attitude, of course, keeps business out of Eastern Germany and people out of Eastern Germany, so they don't do well but struggle to see why because they had 60 years of dictatorship. Takes a long time. That's what I'm concerned about, Sophia. Memories are long. Papa Cat, here's your third goodbye award that I'm gonna send you some fudge in exchange for. I will trade you some fudge for your third Minnesota goodbye in exchange for this beautiful third Minnesota goodbye award that I fell in love with. Is that an acceptable trade, Papa Cat? It's a vicious circle, right, Sophia? Isn't it cute? I love it. I just love it. Such a cute piggy. Well, this has been an excellent discussion, you guys. Really, really good. Universal basic fudge. I'd send you some, Adam. All you got to do is ask. This imaginary line I will defend and control all that live within it. Yeah, I know it's a little weird, Fab Daddy. I don't disagree. I think the nation state ism that arose with nationalism is a little weird. I don't quite get nationalism. I think we'd be better off if we got beyond whatever that idea is, because I don't think it's helpful. You're for universal basic fudge, Kristen? I'm glad you accept, Papa Cat. It will take me a week or so to fulfill that request, but I will send some off. I just can't resist this little piggy in a cannabis forest with poppies. Yes, Adam. We don't need the blood. We don't need the blood. That is for certain. Boy, I really love this picture, Cricket. The AI did well on this one. You will protect all the fudge within your borders. Maybe we'll play bingo for fudge again. You guys love it so much. I'm gonna have to start asking for at least shipping. You'd be surprised how much it costs to ship fudge. Even the postal service. Shipping is expensive. Oh, yes, it is Brian having a premiere right now. Thank you, Cricket. It is exactly time. So you guys head over to Brian's. The first track is Sophia's favorite. Please tell Brian I said hi. I will join you all over there. Hugs and hugs to all of y'all. There we go, Kristen. That one I'll go for. Nudge borders for fudge hoarders, yes. You're happy for fudge? Oh, good. Okay, guys. See you later.